Per, welcome. It's great to have you here. What is it you will present to us today?
I will talk about the complexity of building a business model around digital services in the context of an OEM.
Oh, that will be interesting, Per. What is then you think is the big issue here?
The big issue is that the OEMs are facing a big challenge from investment point of view, building the business case. So that's really challenging.
Okay, Per, but then what's in your experience is the most important here to consider? When you develop into a solution provider, what is it you have to think of?
Yeah, I have three main topics. It is, first of all, when you build a business case or business model, you need to look at how can you increase top line revenue. And secondly, how can you generate cost savings and efficiency gains? And third, also how can it be a catalyst for traditional revenue? So let's look at the triangle, and I will go a little bit deeper into that. So increased top line. I think my recommendation is that you start thinking big with a visionary digital strategy and services, but it needs to be combined with a start small approach. So step by step, like, you know, Facebook started as a dating portal and look what it is today. So revenue-wise, cost-wise is also interesting, because it could be that how can R&D reduce development cycles by analyzing different types of data generated from the machine, combined with other data sources. How can you control the risk on actually utilizing, or the risks on service agreements? And that is actually leading me to the last one, is how can it be a catalyst? Because if you can control the risk, you know, can we avoid overload or abuse of the machine, then we can actually also build service agreements, full service agreements, that has already taken the risk into account, and then we can make much more competitive pricing. And, you know, just by integrating with the customer with digital services, also enable basic increased revenue, like part sales.
Oh, that's a lot of things to consider. So when you want to do this, when you want to implement, what do you have to consider then?
First of all, this is a huge cultural change for the OEM. You need to remember that these OEMs have a legacy of being extremely product-centric, and there is a legacy going more than 100 years back in some cases. So this change is a big step for them. It's a paradigm shift, and that needs to be very much aligned, and the top management needs to be very focused and involved. Maybe that's the most important thing. Then secondly, understanding the customers, being extremely customer-centric, building value proposition, doing research. Third, breaking down silos. It sounds strange, but it's not only machine sensor data we are talking about. It's a combination of data collected from the whole ecosystem, from the operator, the service engineer, the ERP system, warranty claim system, even weather data. And it's when you combine data, you can see patterns and you can generate new insights. And fourth, go for short-term return on investment. Quick wins. You need to be able to show that you can actually generate value extremely fast, even though that you have a long-term vision.
So can you please summarize and share with us what are the most important points here to consider based on your experiences, and maybe you also have some recommendations for us?
You need to be extremely agile as a company, and that is of course a drastic shift. You need to show quick successes, and that generates a very positive spiral when you can harvest on the low-hanging fruit. Try to build on top of the first successes, also to generate more positive vibes. Do it quickly and allow yourself to fail, and that is in some organizations very, very difficult, because some OEMs, they have a culture of not failing. But if you fail, do it quick in order to limit your cost. And always make sure that you can show a business case in the early start that can generate a profit.
Thank you, Per. It has been very rewarding to listen to you, and we have all learned a lot. It's a great pleasure to have you here, and especially we're grateful that you have wanted to share your experience with us. So thank you again.
Thanks for being here. Thanks.